Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea if you're new, and today we are talking through my April TBR. Now, if you notice, there is not a TBR cart, there is not a TBR jar, and that is because I am on the verge of a reading slump, and I feel like doing a TBR jar type TBR is not going to help that like at all. Like, I think it's gonna push me even further into a reading slump, and I'm trying to fight it. I'm trying to push it off. I'm trying to not go there because reading is my passion. I love reading. I read every day. It's my main hobby. And if I'm in a reading slump and don't want to read, I just feel like it's not going to go well for me. So we are trying to combat the reading slump. I'm going to choose my own TBR based off of my current mood. We are going to have flexibility. We are not going to stick to this TBR if we don't want to. And I've chosen 10 books. I typically read more than 10 books in a month, so if I feel like adding another one, I have the opportunity to do so. So I chose 10 books that I have on my radar. Maybe they are new releases, maybe they are books in series that I would like to finish, maybe they are a couple of rereads that I'm excited about. So we've got a great mix here of books that I'm interested in. We also have a mix of genres. I've got a thriller, I've got some fantasy, I've got some romantasy, I've got pure romance. Like, I have everything on this list ready to go. So whatever fits my mood, that's what I'm going to gravitate towards. I also want to note that several of these books are on my spring TBR, and I will link that video down below if you want to see what else is on my spring TBR. I'm very excited about these books. They feel fresh, they feel new, they feel like they're giving spring energy, which is really what I'm looking for, because I kind of want to jump through spring and go straight to summer, but I'm restraining myself. So if you want to check out that TBR, I'll leave it linked down below, but you will see some repeats in this video as I am trying to read them throughout this season. Let's go ahead and walk through the April TBR. First on the list is a reread for me, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I am currently rereading this series. I want to read a book a month for the rest of the year. I did jumpstart a little bit because I read Throne of Glass in March, and it was so fun to be back in the world. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving like finding the little hints everywhere that you don't see until you reread. But my husband recently read this series, and I'm loving like talking with him about it as I'm rereading through these. I've read these 2 or 3 times, but it's been a few years. So I'm really excited to jump back into this world and just kind of like be lost in a world like this for a little bit, because it's so magical, it's so fun, it's addicting, it's adventurous, it's all-consuming. Like, this is exactly what I need. And then we have several new releases that I'm very excited about, and a lot of these I've checked out from the library. I only have 1 physical copy, but I'm looking to pick up the next few this week, so I will have them ready to go for April. But first up, we have Oathbound by Tracy Dion. This is so shiny, I apologize. This is book 3 in the Legendborn cycle. This is a YA fantasy series that follows our main character Bree as she learns about this kind of like secret society where the magic is based around King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, which is super interesting. Book 2 left off at a really interesting spot, and it wasn't my favorite book, but I'm really excited to see where she takes the story in book 3. And I believe this is a 4-book series, so I know that this one will probably also end in a cliffhanger. Next up, we have Watch Me by Tahara Mafi. This book comes out mid-April, and this is kind of like the 2nd generation series of the Shatter Me series. And if you know anything, you know Aaron Warner is my book husband. I will literally do anything for that man. And this new series follows like some younger characters from the Shatter Me series. I do believe we get glimpses of Aaron Warner in this series, and I cannot wait. I'm like giddy, I'm so excited. The second this book lands on my doorstep, I'm picking it up. Wow, I have so many new releases on this list. I am kind of shocked. The next one is The Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. This is the 2nd book in the Legends of Castamere series, I believe. The first book is Swordcatcher, and The Ragpicker King came out in March, I want to say, and people are loving this book. Cassandra Clare is one of my favorite authors. The Shadowhunter series is I mean, you can see I'm obsessed. I love the Shadowhunter world. And this new world is an adult fantasy for her. And it's really interesting. The magic is cool. Like the slow burn of the possible romance is fantastic. The character development, like I don't think anyone writes platonic friendships the way that Cassandra Clare writes friendships. Like, so incredible, and I'm really intrigued to see where she takes this story. I don't know how many books are in this series, but I had a really good time reading Swordcatcher last year, and because I've heard so many good things about the Ragpicker King, like I'm itching to pick that book up. The next new release on this list is none other than Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is her newest release. It comes out in April, so I'll be reading it right away. I am a little nervous because I haven't heard like the best reviews from people who have gotten early copies of this book. A lot of people have been saying it's a little boring, but I do want to give it a shot because it's Emily Henry. Her writing is beautiful. Even if I don't love the story, I do love her writing. And I will say her last couple of releases have not been my favorite. I'm more of a book lover's beach read girly, and I just feel like the last couple have fallen like slightly flat for me. So I am a little worried that I'm not going to love this, but we got to read it. We got to give it a shot. All right, I have two more new releases on this list. One is On Midnight Shores by Julie Olivia. This is book 3 in the Never Harbor series. You can find this book on Kindle Unlimited. I'm very excited for this release. This series is a Peter Pan like reimagining. It's a small town, Never Harbor. Every book follows a sibling in this particular family, one of the characters being Peter himself. And I believe this book follows the daughter, and she's the good girl. She follows all the rules. She's like the sweetheart of the town, but she kind of wants to like rebel against that title. And she ends up working for this artist in his gallery, and he's kind of a bad boy. He's tattooed. He's a little bit rough around the edges. And I think he's gonna help her like get out of her shell a little bit, and I kind of love that. We've had glimpses of both of these characters in the last 2 books, and it's been so fun to see. I cannot wait to read this one. If you haven't read anything by Julie Olivia, go ahead and give her a try. She does small town so well. Her character development, her spice, her found family is so beautiful. And the first book in this series is called Off the Hook, and you can find the whole series on Kindle Unlimited. But this one comes out late April, so I'll be reading this towards the end of the month. And the last new release on this list is The Thrashers by Julie Soto. This is actually not coming out until May, but I do have an ARC. This is a YA thriller, which is new for Julie Soto. She writes romantasy, she writes pure contemporary romance, so this is a little bit of a different genre for her, or at least that I have seen traditionally published, and I'm very excited to read this one. Thriller is not my usual go-to, but I feel like if it's YA, it usually works for me, and I've heard incredible things by people who have read this book so far. I love Julie Soto's writing in general, and I'm hoping that this YA thriller works for me. Like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, The Naturals, like those YA thrillers really work for me, and I'm hoping that this one falls into that category. All right, I have 3 books that are not new releases, and one of them scares me like a lot, and then the other 2 are continuing a series that I cannot wait. I'm so excited. First up, we have Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, I am starting my Brandon Sanderson journey this month. I will be buddy reading Mistborn with a few of my friends. I am so terrified, to be honest, to jump into this world, and I'm not even sure what this world entails. Like, I need to watch some YouTube videos to figure out what I'm getting myself into, but I've been wanting to read Brandon Sanderson for a couple of years now, and I have some friends who are also trying to read him this year, so we decided to do it together to help each other out and maybe keep each other accountable for reading through this series. So we will be picking up Mistborn this month. I'm just hoping I like it. Hoping that I don't get too lost. I hope that it's not too slow for me because I am on the verge of a reading slump, and I'm hoping that it doesn't put me further into anything. So just send your good vibes my way. That will be okay, and we'll survive this book. And then the last 2 books on this list are The Ballad of Never After and A Curse for True Love. I recently read Once Upon a Broken Heart. You can see it back here, and I gave it 5 stars. I loved that book so much. I immediately put Ballad of Never After on hold at my library, and I believe it is ready for pickup today. I cannot wait to read this. I honestly think that that's the book that put me in the slump because I'm just itching to get back into this world. I will be reading these two books like first thing in the month of April. Like I cannot wait to jump into this world, and I'm hoping to finish a series, which we all know needs to happen around here because I cannot finish a series to save my life, and it's kind of getting out of control at this point. So I would love to finish this series in the month of April, and I'm really hoping that this is a 5-star series for me. And based on how much I loved Once Upon a Broken Heart, I'm feeling fairly confident in that prediction. So there you have it, my 10 books on my April TBR. My goal is to make reading vlogs for each of these books, but if there's one book in particular that you would love to see a reading vlog on, please go ahead and leave it in the comments down below so I can make my plans for the month of April. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one soon. Bye!